And now, it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, Corey Sandin, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray, Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and Corey Sandin.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa. We're in the world headquarters of Let's Talk Hookup here, right next to a very busy Fisherman's Landing in San Diego. And we have the man from Fisherman's Landing and Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Doug Kern is here talking all kinds of good stuff. In fact, tackle and more. Southern California sport fishing voice is Let's Talk Hookup on the Mightier 1090 ESPN radio and the Let's Talk Hookup app. Inside information is everything when it comes to catching fish in Southern California. You need a code group to connect with what's happening on the water. FishDope.com is your code group. Inside information available at your fingertips 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane, along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. They become your code group. You get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Catine, 365 days a year. FishDope.com has online planning tools, temperature and chlorophyll charts, hot bite icons, and more. Take it from me, if you don't have FishDope.com, you're not part of the in-the-know crowd. Membership is affordable and good for an entire year. Plus, use the special code and save $30 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
Hello, anglers. This is Tim with Friends of Rollo, and we are kicking off the new year with another great promotion. Bill Batson and his team have once again donated 6 amazing custom rods that you could be fishing with this season. These rods are all one of a kind and built with rain shadow rod blanks and Alps rod components. Captain Rollos will be giving away these beautiful works of art in the Batson booth at the PCS show on March 10th. Entering the drawing is easy. When you buy 5 $10 Rollo Grand Raffle tickets, you will get 1 entry into the Batson Custom Rod Drawing. To purchase tickets, please email win@rollokids.org or call Tim at 951-264-7382. Our thanks go out to Batson Enterprises for once again making this promotion possible. Thank you to everyone for your support of the Rollo program, and good luck.
Great fishing is what Seaforth Sports Fishing in Mission Bay is all about. With free parking and fully stocked tackle shop, Seaforth Sport Fishing is a favorite among anglers. Come aboard top boats like the Aztec, Cortez, Endeavor, Apollo, Outer Limits, Elgato Doe, Pride, Polaris Supreme, Tribute, Pacifica, Pacific Voyager, and the Voyager. Plus, the new Seaforth, Sea-Watch, and San Diego offer the finest half and full day trips available. Seaforth Sport Fishing. For charters or schedule, check seaforthlanding.com. Run by fishermen for fishermen in Mission Bay.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, I can't believe Doug is here. I can't believe Showtime is here. It's just a good time, buddy.
Good morning, Doug Kern.
Good morning, and good morning, anglers across Southern California, and probably listening all over the country and all over the world on the app there. It's a beautiful day down here next door to Fisherman's Landing. Boat just pulled in with the first bluefin tuna of the season.
Yes.
We saw them just pull in. And
they just pulled in. It's Pacific Dawn.
It's getting kind of exciting around here.
Yeah, it is. It's showtime. It's fishing time.
It is. It's just kind of typical. It's been that way forever. You know, the show season hits, and then, you know, it used to be the yellowtail, and it sure feels like yellowtail weather the last 2 days. It was 78 degrees down here yesterday in that high tropical sky, and so I wouldn't be surprised if there's a few yellowtail floating around, and definitely some bluefin, and they had their typical limits of good cod fishing down there at Colonette. So
yeah, we heard from Mike yesterday on the Tribute.
Yeah,
sensational weather too.
Yes,
it was about the weather.
Yep.
Yeah, but now we get a little turn for the worse for a short time, and then back to good.
But that's the way this time of year goes.
Yeah, totally.
But it just tells you those tuna are there. They're willing to bite. light. The water temperature is a slight bit warmer than normal for this time of year. It's like around 60 degrees. It had been 59 after that last storm, and there's even a little 61 floating around. And I know the long-range guys coming up from their long trips saw tons of yellowfin down below, like more than they would have expected to see. And then the bluefin was, in multiple locations. I know there was a report of fish behind Clemente, 30 to 80 pounders foaming, and fish down just on the 32 line was about 45 miles below San Diego, and then down off Colonet and San Martin, that direction. And so, these bluefin have been living here, but they can be from Bonitas Island to almost Canada. I mean,
right.
But they're here.
It just takes a matter of getting the right weather and the boats out to do some coverage to find where they're looking. And they found him yesterday.
Well, and kudos to Mike for that, because when you don't have a fleet of boats talking to each other and that fish moves 10 miles, you can't find it.
Yeah.
But those guys bumped into it, and there was some pretty good signal, and they got some biters, which that's really nice to see. A lot of times you'll see them.
Nice grade, too, like 70-pounder.
Yeah, just that perfect grade. I guess they had at least one in the dark and then some daytime fish. So, I mean, it's just a really good sign of things to come.
For sure. So, coming up 1 week from this Thursday is the PCS show up in the Orange County Fairgrounds in Costa Mesa, and you guys are going to be there. This is your only show other than Tackle Day and Day at the Docks that you do, right?
Yeah, so we're getting ready for the PCS show. Rick had the foresight to recognize that this show was a really good fit for us. After COVID, we didn't do any shows, and this is primarily a fishing-only show, and it's mostly saltwater. And a lot of our customers live up in that area and come down to San Diego. So, last year my wife and I had planned a trip to Australia and New Zealand, and it just happened to encompass the dates of the show. So Rick took the bull by the horns, and they just kicked some serious butt up there, and said that they really.
Nice job, Ricky.
Yeah, we had a great time. It was fun.
So I put him in charge again this year. So I'm just a hired help.
That's cool.
If he wants me to hang knife jigs, I'll hang knife jigs.
Don't go over there and put that out.
Exactly.
That's great. So now normally you bring in a big list of specials. And can you share any of that stuff that you're going to do there, or is it all going to be a surprise?
Well, some of it is going to be a surprise. I mean, it sounds kind of like BS to say this, but some of the stuff we can't talk about publicly. You just have to show up and see, because I can tell you, after COVID, you couldn't even get merchandise, and so nobody discounted anything. It was just your discount is we have it in stock. And, you're lucky to be able to get it. And now things have gotten back a little bit to normal. Supply chain issues are behind us, and we can get stock. So we went very aggressive for the show. It's 4 days. This is your shot. And so I'll give you the 40,000 foot view, the overview of what we're doing. We have all the pertinent reel companies in our booth. We have all the pertinent rod companies. We have great supply of rods from, vertical jigging to rail rods to surface iron rods and all the bait rods, all the major companies. We have 3 fluorocarbon companies, AFTCO, Psycho, Seagar, and Yozuri. So, the top brands there. We have a very good selection of all the various type of knife jigs, from the Mustad and the Nomad and West Coast and Johnny Jigs and all the really cool good ones. And I mean, the prices are going to be insane, and some of the value added deals are going to be better than what we've really ever had before. I mean, we usually tout our Tackle Day as our best sale of the year. I think this is going to surpass that.
Come on.
Yes.
Dude, he mentioned fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
We literally don't get to say what our fluorocarbon deal is this year.
Well, normally with Seagar, it's buy 2 get 1 free. How could it be better than that?
Well, you'll just have to come to the booth, Pete.
Yeah. Okay. I can tell you one thing. It's worth coming. I can promise you that. It's definitely worth coming.
Okay. All right.
And then, we've got some nice tackle bags. AFTCO has a really nice line of tackle bags.
Their tackle bags are so cool.
Man,
so
aren't they?
Else.
And the real bags.
Everything about them.
They're nailing it.
So we've got all that in the booth, and our surface iron selection. We have all the normal suspects, plus we have a new one, 2 fish jigs. They have 3 surface irons and a couple of yo-yo type jigs that
they're available now?
No, but they will be next Thursday.
They will?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the big debut, huh?
The debut.
Wow.
Yeah, they're going to debut 2 lures at the show. So one, those surface irons are incredibly difficult to get a hold of as it is.
Right.
We're going to have a huge display of them at the show. But in addition to that, they're going to be releasing 2 lures at the show, only at the Fisherman's Landing booth.
Wow. 2 fish jigs. And these are guys that, the guys that design these jigs are real fishermen.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's Matt Bralla from the San Diego.
Okay, I didn't know whether you could say.
Yeah, I mean, it's just mean the team behind it is the guy. Yeah, I mean,
the world's greatest fisherman.
It's the fleet, Brandon from Fisherman's Landing is part of it, and just some real gear jig aficionados, and they took lures and made them the old school way, and they're going to be some really, really cool
and on
jigs.
that one, I am going to tell you, I mean, they've been working feverishly to make as many jigs as they can, but it's going to be pretty limited on the quantities, and I expect probably to run out of some or most or all of it. So if that's something you've been trying to get your hands on, probably, if you can get down there on Thursday, that'd be the call.
That'd be the day.
Yeah.
And are there's deals on jigs?
Yes, there are deals on jigs.
I'm not going to say what they are, though.
The jigs, we just applied the smallest margin that we can get by on a show and still survive and cover our expenses. So it's probably lower than what we've ever done at a trade show before on the surface irons and the yo-yo jigs. So it's all the normal suspects. I mean, Taddy and Salas and OCT and the 2 fish like I mentioned and JRI and it's just all the really good stuff. And yes, people usually will load up for their trip down to Baja. They're summer yellowtail fishing, whatever. It's the time to fill the tackle box up, from the ones you lost last year.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Our PCS booth is really cool in that, over the years the shows have been everywhere from us for having giant booth spaces where we have we've had booth spaces, especially in case of the old tackle store, like we've had booth spaces that were larger than the store itself was and smaller than and everything in between. And PCS has been a very cool reset where we have a booth that it's a big booth, but it's smaller than some of the giant ones. But it is nothing but the killers.
It's the A+.
Plus. Exactly.
All the top of the line.
Yes. Everything. So
rods, reels, lures, tackle bags.
It's CalStar, it's Seeker, it's
clothing.
It's Loomis. It's all of the highest end of all the categories.
Costa sunglasses.
We're doing Costa.
Yeah.
We just got in 144 pairs yesterday.
Woo.
Yep. And the clothing we don't have in the booth, but we are connected to an AFTCO satellite booth.
Okay.
They're going to have their foul weather type gear. They make such good stuff. And so they'll be able to talk to you about the technical features and that, and then they just walk you next door to our booth and you can buy it right there at the show. So technically, we have some clothing.
Okay.
So some good clothing.
Yeah.
So
AFTCO literally opened up a satellite booth
near you guys.
I mean,
it's attached to our booth.
Yeah, across the aisle. And just for that, just to be able to display all that high-end foul weather gear, to be a space to have even more in-depth, look at the soft goods and bags and all that kind of stuff.
Because they have so much new
Exactly.
stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we worked out a little something with them that's going to be pretty spectacular. Still something.
Yeah. So, not like a month after that, it comes Day at the Docks.
Yes.
And
so
will you
April 7th.
Will you be doing stuff at Day at the Docks?
Yes. So we'll do our typical 30-foot by 16-foot booth. We'll have, usually what we do out on our outside booth is we have like the closeout-y type stuff, the really killer deals. We will have Fishworks in our booth, and we will also have OCT in our booth with a giant selection at a hugely discounted price. So every size, every color, in the shop we carry like the A-plus colors and the A-plus sizes. He's bringing everything. And I know at PCS, and I don't know if this will be true at Day at the Docks, but you buy 3 of his jigs, and he's going to give you one of those new minis that he's come out with, which I haven't seen one or gotten to fish once, but he can tell you how that was designed, why it was designed, and you'll get to put one in your hands and in your tackle box and go give it a try.
Wow, fantastic.
We love to tease Jeff about the keychain that he made, but it's not. I mean, it is a fully functioning little cool, whether it be a spotted bay bass or a trout, and you wanted to catch one on a legit surface iron. I mean, that's what it is. It's our favorite thing to tease Jeff about. But, I mean, it is. He built a perfect miniature actual swimming surface iron.
Yeah.
But,
surface iron.
It's a keychain as far as we like to mess with it.
Yeah.
But dude, honestly, it's cool. I mean, it's a full fish catching thing that you could catch a trout at Lake Cuyamaca on a surface iron. Yeah. It's pretty rad.
So, and Let's Talk Hookup, speaking of Day at the Docks, April 7th, Sunday, April, there will be a live broadcast.
Hey, all right.
One of our rare anymore live broadcasts. We're only doing 3 a year. We're doing Day at the Docks, April 7th. We're doing the Dana Landing live broadcast for their sale and such. It's in May, early May. And then, of course, Tackle Day in November. Yeah. So that's it.
Yeah. And we can't thank you enough. We appreciate it.
We love it.
Part of the family here. And
for
thank
sure.
you so much.
Yeah, well, if you notice the method, they're local. Right? We're not a traveling show anymore. We either are here in the world headquarters or we're just very close to the world.
We're not going to Santa Barbara to do a 2-hour remote.
Yeah.
If you put the
We've been there, done that.
If you put the wind at Doug's back, he can just about hit the broadcast location of Tackle Day with a Daddy 45 from where we're at right now. So.
Yeah, for sure. So one good deal on rods. Just give me something, Doug.
Okay, well, every rod is cut to the bone.
Okay.
But we did, and this isn't right down our alley, but it definitely hits a lot of our people for their inshore fishing, is that we bought a closeout from Berkeley, and we bought a lot of them.
Dude.
These are $59, 7-foot, typical trigger,
best rods.
Some you'd catch a calico or a bay bass or a bonita or that kind of thing. And they're $59 rods. But before I bought them, I called Justin Poe, who is a good friend, long-term friend, and he designs a lot of those rods. I said, Jay Poe, is this thing legit for us? I mean, I don't want to buy something that's not right for our people. He goes, dude, buy them.
This is the one.
Really?
So I bought 400 of them.
Wow.
And so it's a $59 rod. We're doing them at $24.95 just at the PCS.
Mackerel.
Yeah.
Less than 50%.
We'll sell
50%
every. I mean, they're a $60 rod. That's $25.
Designed by Justin Poe.
But they will fly.
There's a lot of $60 rods that are not what you would want to fish with. And so, we had the luxury of calling a buddy that is as in the loop as anybody and knows our fishery. And he said 100%. And, they're not some slow taper salmon thing.
Right.
They're a legit, faster taper.
All right.
The cosmetics are nice. They were built properly. And, so that, that's something you could go buy 4 rods for $100 and outfit your family for bay bass fishing.
How cool is that?
Yeah, right?
Great. Well, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today. A lot to talk about. We get into some bluefin, some fishing from Fisherman's Landing, get into talking about tackle and more with Mr. Doug Kern.
Yeah, we got the guru, man. It's going to be a great show. So much cool stuff to cover, like you say, whether it be tackle info, whether it be PCS show, or just a lot of fun with Doug. We're looking forward to talking to you. And if you want to join us this morning, give us a call at 213-432-1090. Again, 213-432-1090 is how you reach us here on Let's Talk Hookup. Or you can send us a text. Man, texting the show has been so popular lately. Already great text coming through. I had a chuckle. There were several texts that came through in the middle of the week for Doug, like people trying to sneak questions in early. So it's been a lot of fun. If you want to text Let's Talk Hookup, the only way you can do that is through the Let's Talk Hookup app. That's a free download, easy to find. It's also your source for listening to all the archive shows. If you missed anything or Doug let out some perfect tip that you want to go back to, you can check anything on our past shows through the Let's Talk Hookup app. And again, it's the only way you can text in your questions today. And when you do, make sure you include your contact info, name and phone number, so that we can get back to you, because if you win today's prize, we want to make sure to get it to you. And what a cool prize it was today. Yesterday we had such a fun time giving away that great prize that we're doing a very similar one today. Today you're going to get a full day trip on board the Liberty at a Fisherman's Landing. So a huge thanks to Taro and Gina for allowing us to do that great trip. Somebody's going to get to go full day fishing on board the Liberty at a Fisherman's Landing. And you're going to win 2 tickets to come visit the PCS show. Again, it's at the OC Fairgrounds in Costa Mesa, March 7th through the 10th. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Going to be a great prize, great day, and a lot of fun. Again, if you want to get through in the phones, 213-432-1090. When we come back, we're going to be taking your phone calls. Lots of great info coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. This is Let's Talk Hookup on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Countdown to spring with exhilarating deals on new Yamaha outboards during Yamaha's Power and Performance Sales Event from now until March 31st, 2024. Purchase a new eligible Yamaha 450 to 30 horsepower outboard and get up to 7 years of warranty protection and a Siren 3 Pro package to your purchase of a 115 horsepower and up, and receive a bonus $1,000 in dealer credit and half off your Siren subscription. Looking for lower horsepower? Yamaha's got you covered. Purchase a new Yamaha 25 to 2.5 horsepower outboard and receive up to $2,000 in dealer credit. Reliability starts here. Offer ends March 31st, 2024. Subject to change. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Select models excluded. 24-month Yamaha extended service added. A 36 or 60-month factory limited warranty. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 24-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. Cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
There are certain places on this earth that are very special, and I am blessed to have a fishing lodge in one of them. Hi, this is Valerie Hopridge from Queen Charlotte Safaris in Sandspit, Hawaii, British Columbia, Canada. We are a boutique lodge embarking from the Sandspit Harbor, offering a truly unique fishing adventure. From our fully enclosed cabin boats, untouched, unspoiled fishing grounds, stunning scenery, to the delicious meals, personalized service received throughout your entire trip, we strive to make your adventure an experience that encompasses world-class fishing for Chinook salmon, halibut, lingcod, and so much more. Our goal is to connect you to nature through fishing, and that's just what we do at Queen Charlotte Safaris. You will be greeted warmly and welcomed at our well-appointed lodge. We'll receive you as friends and send you off as part of the Queen Charlotte Safaris family for many years to come. You will come for the fishing. You will come back for the memories. Give us a call at 1-877-815-2892 or check us out on Instagram, Facebook, or on our website, qcsafaris.com.
Hey everyone, James Holst here with Norsk Lithium, the official battery partner of Let's Talk Hookup. Here at Norsk Lithium, we have 2 goals that drive who we are and what we do. The first is to make the highest quality, longest lasting lithium batteries available with a complete lineup of batteries that include 12, 24, 36 volt, and starting batteries. Second, in addition to offering a 10-year warranty on all Norsk Lithium marine batteries, we provide amazing customer service before and after the sale. Check us out online at norsklithium.com. That's N-O-R-S-K lithium.com, or call us at 831-232-9063. Or to see Norsk Lithium batteries in person, stop by the Trolling Motor Doctor in Lakewood or Anglers Marine in Anaheim and see why Norsk Lithium batteries should be in your boat.
No matter where the adventure takes you, we've got you powered. Norsk Lithium.
Hey, this is Rosie with Cedros Sport Fishing. We have always been the leader in fishing trips to Cedros Island. We have set the bar even higher with our second lodge opening for the 2022 season. Side-by-side lodges sitting on the cliff's edge with relaxing ocean views. With direct flights departing through the CBX in San Diego, we are committed to providing first-class service to our guests and an unforgettable fishing experience. Come check out the yellowtail and calico bass capital in the world. Nobody does it better than Cedros Sport Fishing. Call me at 619-772-7570 or check us out at cedrosportfishing.com.
The PCS show is coming, and we will have our best ever booth at the show. Hi, this is Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle. Check us out in the wildly popular Saltwater Building at the PCS show in Costa Mesa, where we will have some amazing deals for you on rods, reels, lures, and clothing. Everything at the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth will be on sale. And as always, our expert staff will help you select that perfect setup for the fish you want to pursue. For saltwater tackle at the PCS show, your best stop is the Fisherman's Landing Tackle booth.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup. Man, that sure did not take long. Those phone lines packed up fast.
Yeah.
There's one line that's still open if you want it. 213-432-1090 is the shot. And again, don't forget, so many great text opportunities on that Let's Talk Hookup app.
Yeah, I have a great text here from Doug in Fillmore, and he says, I have a Penn 975 level wine, needs to retire, I'd say. I love level wine reels. What would replace that reel, Doug?
Well, it depends on what type of fishing that they might be doing, but that's a fairly large reel. And if you want something with a level wind level wind like that, you really probably want to think about a Tranx. You could probably get away with a 400 size to do what that 975 would do, even though that 975 is a bigger reel. It's almost like a small conventional size reel. But, that reel does need to be retired. The configuration's a little odd. It's really wide and a little tippy that way. The lever drag makes it so that it doesn't cast quite as well. And, so I would, depending on this type of fishing, a Tranx would be, probably a 400, maybe a 500, but that 500 is getting to be pretty darn big. I just don't know what he's trying to use that old Penn reel for, but get yourself a nice Tranx 400. I think it'll do the trick.
And a nice reel for a lot of different things. You can catch a big tuna on it, or you can catch a calico bass on it, right?
Yeah, I have literally fished the half-day boat in the kelp catching calicos, and I've caught 30-pound yellowtail on it. So, it's an amazing reel.
Yeah.
The only thing that's going to limit you is the line capacity, but with using maybe 40-pound braided line, Power Pro or whatever.
Yeah, you could put Power Pro Max Quattro on.
Yeah,
and
50-pound Max Quattro, and then just a short top shot, and you'll have plenty of line, for a school-sized tuna, a yellowtail. Yeah.
My favorite Tranx 400 fish last year was a couple of guys in our shop, Brandon, who obviously we all know in RC, our good buddy. They were fishing with a customer and a good friend that's got a bitchin', Invincible center console, and that bluefin was, up and foaming around, but just not biting as it does. And they were on small bait, and they were fishing one of those small clear choice poppers. But you just can't get the distance out of that you'd like on big gear. So they were fishing basically a heavy version of a bass rod and a Tranx 400, and it was full of 65-pound Max Quattro, and they hooked a bluefin, and it was a big one, and they pulled their butts off, and they pulled on the fish for like 45 minutes and got it, and it was a 110-pounder on a Tranx 400.
It's a bass rod.
That rod and reel combo, like the week before, was at Cedros fishing the Corey Weedless. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like it was truly their weedless outfit, but it was the only thing that we could cast a small popper on, and they got a 110-pound bluefin on.
Pretty cool.
So rad.
You mentioned that clear choice. We have a huge selection of clear choice poppers at PCS, all at the right price. And what the one Rick's talking about is that 130. It comes in a 150 and a 170 size as well. So that's a good place to load up. So you'll have a
special on those?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a cool popper. They're like a premium popper, I guess you'd say. Not cheap in terms
good hooks
of exactly. Not cheap because they just did it right out of the gate. Like they have ultra heavy duty split rings, they have very heavy duty treble hooks. Like it's an open the package, tie it on, not buy it and then open the package and then spend another $15 on hardware to make it right. It's right out of the get go.
And for whatever reason, the shape
and it works.
And that clear popper, it does draw bites. We used to think in the beginning of this whole popper thing that they just want something that's splashing. That couldn't be further from the truth. There are poppers that it's like a surface iron. If you have one that gets bit, you're going to be the guy catching.
Right.
And these clear choice poppers, I'm going to put in that category for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, let's jump back on the phones.
Phones are packed up. How about Roy from San Diego getting us started off here this morning? Good morning, Roy. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey.
Morning, Roy.
Good morning, guys. Hey, quick question. I'm mainly a kayak fisherman. do a lot of fishing in the bays. I'm going to add another reel, and I'm kind of narrowing it down to the SLX DC and possibly a Tranks. I know they're not quite apples and apples, but recommendation or thoughts, pros and cons to one or the other?
Well,
those are two good
both
choices,
are great choices for sure. We just got our batch of DCs in day before yesterday, and so we got those for the show.
So what is it now?
It's an SLX DC.
This
SLX,
is the newest version.
Dude,
from
SLX
Shimano,
is
right?
like unfair.
Yeah.
SLX is a lower priced,
right. I have one. Yeah,
low profile style reel.
Yeah.
That, I mean, 5 years ago would have been like the, I would call it mid-high end technology. Like, Corrado was always like my favorite reel that Shimano made back in the day. Like, this is nicer than a Corrado was just a few years ago at a price that's half of that. You know what I mean? Like, it's an entry level price, but a really nice reel.
So it's like a Corrado DC, but less expensive.
It's not a Corrado DC,
but it's
because Corrado DC
controlled.
exists. But yes, it is a very, very nice,
and
smooth,
what size is it?
Good free spool. I think it's a 150.
150. Yep, and that would be, that might be considered the Torium to the Trinidad or something like that.
Right.
So they are different reels. If you want something that just has guts and gears and bearings and power, you probably go with the Tranks. So that if you're going to be doing more chances to get bigger fish, either like larger calicos up to your yellowtail and school-sized tuna, or 110 pounders, that would be the call. That little 150, that's going to be your inshore starting, it could be freshwater to bay to kelp. And, if you want to, play with some bonita or, smaller yellowtail, that'd be your little fun rod for that. But that's, that DC is not going to be a truly game fish type reel. I mean, you can catch one, but you'd want to go with the Tranks for that. So, and that Tranks starts at 200 and goes up to 500. A little 150 size reel is, you're going to be limited on line capacity, and it's just, it's not going to have quite the same guts that the Tranks would have. But honestly, over time, I think it would be prudent to own both, because obviously you do different situations. And for your lighter inshore bay kelp, you can go with that DC. And then when you start getting into where there's a few yellows around or some bigger bass, maybe go with the Tranks.
I fished the Corrado DC a lot down at Picachos. What an amazing reel.
What an amazing reel.
It's like, and if you're worried about getting backlashes, it really... It's not backlash free, but it's pretty close.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
And it's just so smooth in every way.
And you can throw light stuff on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I love that reel.
So any of that DC technology, it does work.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what's cool about it is how little it hinders. Anything that slows spool speed can rob you from some distance. But DC is so cool in that it only is slowing the spool when the spool is moving too fast.
Yeah.
A magnet is a constant, and DC is only applied when it needs to be, and then it's backed back off again.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had some slow motion videos of some of the DC reels, the Trinidad DCs, and they would make a cast, and you'd see the line expand out and almost backlash, and then right before it backlash, it would just suck back in. So it never put any pressure on the spool, so it didn't rob you of any distance, and it got on the verge of a backlash, but it wouldn't backlash. In that particular reel, their chip would pulse 1,500 times per second, sensing when it was going to backlash. I mean, it's amazing technology.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And Rick and I have been all over Shimano, and I don't know if it'll ever happen, but we want a Tranks 500 DC in the worst way.
How amazing was that?
Game over.
Change everything.
For sure.
Probably $2,000.
Yeah. Well, hey, you have a great text, huh?
Speaking of Tranks again, good morning, boys. Always a great show when Doug is on, and he says, Ricky, you better fly straight with having both the bosses on here today. He said, my question is for Doug. I'm in the market for a new reel, and I have my heart set on a Tranx 500. I plan on taking it with me mostly on my full-day trips on board the Liberty. What rod do you recommend I pair it with? What line type and size do you recommend I fill it with? Those are from Ralph and Menifee.
Okay.
Great question, Ralph.
So, when you fish the Liberty, we used to think of that as the Coronado Islands yellowtail boat, and then late in the season maybe get some yellowfin out, 20, 30 miles. But it's turned into more offshore fishing just because we've had better offshore fishing and not as good at the Coronado Islands. So you're probably talking about tuna fishing. So, a lot of times we would put a 9 or 10 foot traditional surface iron rod on that reel, and that'd be your yellowtail. And even if, especially skiff fishing, if you're chasing down schools of bluefin and you want to throw something on the surface iron, a popper, stick bait, whatever, you go with your longer rods for that. But you might want to kind of back off a little bit if you start hooking 70 and 80 and 100-pound tuna. You could go to like an 8-foot rod, like a GG 6480 would be a good choice. Some of the United Composites rods that have, a little thinner blanks and that type of thing. Like the, I'm drawing a blank here, but
like Monster or a Wahoo, if you're on the heavier side.
8.5-foot rods like that, they don't completely kill you, and they're lighter to fish with. A traditional surface iron rod is going to wear you out a little bit more. And then, you could even get down to like, a 7.5-foot rod if you're targeting much larger fish. You're throwing something heavy enough that you can get it out there, an 875H, 875XH even. I don't know if Rick might have another suggestion that I didn't touch on, but, that 7.5 to 9 foot, even a 10 foot, if you're doing early season school size tuna like we have caught literally yesterday, and they're up on the surface foaming, and you want to throw a surface iron, there's no problem throwing a 10-foot rod, and then, 60, 70-pounder kicks your butt a little bit. But you start getting into those 100-plus pounders, and most people are going to want something a little shorter than that. And, on a sport boat, too, you're not going to be running and gunning chasing schools down like that. So probably that 8.5 foot CalStar or that UC is a great way to go.
There you go. Hey, 213-432-1090. One line open. Let's jump into the phones.
Daniel from Oceanside is up next on Let's Talk Hookup. Daniel, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Morning, Daniel. Earth to Daniel.
Yeah, looks like we might have lost Daniel. Well, how about we grab another? How about we talk to Sam? Sam's calling us from Irvine this morning. Good morning, Sam. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Great show. I'm planning on going to the PCS, but what I'm looking for, and he touched on it briefly with that last call, is a rod to fish 60-pound, but throw jigs, heavy jigs maybe, because I've been on foamers and I've kept my, decided not to throw jigs into those big schools because they were like 175 or thing like that. So, so I'm looking for something heavier, maybe with a 2-speed on it. What would you suggest for that?
Yeah, I mean, a 2-speed reel like a Talica 12, something like that, that's the best reel when you're attached to the fish. But getting the bite, sometimes you have to be able to cast something reliably, with a less chance of a backlash and getting a little further distance. And that really is where that Tranx 500 comes into play. So, again, multiple outfits for multiple situations. If you were to go with a Talica 12 and say an 8-foot casting rod like we talked about with the last caller, you're going to have to be a lot more careful, especially with your Spectra line, not to get a backlash. You may have one shot, to get that cast off. And as much as I don't want to pull on a fish with a single speed reel, that Tranx has a tremendous amount of power. It has the Trinidad technology built into that. So you do have cranking power. You don't lose the cranking power. And so it's no different than surface iron fishing for yellowtail. Yeah, do you want to be pulling on a 30-pound yellowtail with a 10-foot rod? Well, it kind of kicks your butt, but at least I got attached. So I would probably go with the Tranks in that situation, and then you can save your 2-speed reels for live bait fishing, vertical knife jig type fishing. And so if you said, you use the word casting, if you're dropping, then 100% a 2-speed reel. The biggest one that you can get away with, if you're nighttime fishing, go up to like a Talica 20 or 25. If you're daytime fishing, you can do a 12 is a good choice. But for casting spectra, where you might get a little buck fever, I'm sticking with the Tranks.
There you go. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. That does free up 213-432-1090. You have a chance to win a trip on the Liberty from Fisherman's Landing, as well as 2 tickets to the PCS show in Costa Mesa. Hey, Rex from Phoenix, Arizona, listening to us on the Let's Talk Hookup app, says, I have a 3-day trip in mid-September, and I would like to know what months offer the greatest variety of fish, what length of trip should I go on?
Honestly, a 3-day in September is an A-plus trip. We start getting our better weather. The water has warmed up, and so you might start getting some exotics in, some Dorado and yellowfin, and we've got an El Nino that's high percentage this year. They're calling for 1.7 degree temperature warmer than normal in the Eastern Pacific.
Oh.
So I'm probably unrealistic, but I want to see those wahoo come back. But a 3-day trip gives you enough time that you can get on some fish. I mean, obviously, if it's a whole different ballgame if you go on a 7-day trip. You get down the coast more. You can get up here and get the bluefin. You're probably going to see some Dorado and yellowfin. Definitely, there's yellowtail around. But that September month has always been my favorite month. It's odd, though, these days, the last several years, that September would be the good month, and then by mid-October you'd be winding down. As they say, the fat lady's about to sing.
Yeah.
Well, now October is one of those months where that bluefin starts a lot of times getting to bigger sizes. So if you're targeting the bigger bluefin, that October, even November, we have a lot of trips already, booked in November for this year because that's known to be, a big fish time of year.
And some of our best fishing last year was in November.
Yeah, and we even caught fish in the first week of December last year, tuna. So
we've been very fortunate that our season has been running long. So pretty much what you're saying is book a trip anywhere from June through November, and you're in pretty good shape.
I mean, I'm going to tell you, we have Day at the Docks is the 7th of April. We have 5 boats going out that weekend tuna fishing.
Wow.
So and with a realistic chance now, we've seen the fish in our local waters. Now we've caught some.
Yeah.
So
May was a great month last month.
Yes.
Last year, yeah.
The only reason we didn't have good fishing in April was we had horrible weather, wind, and it was always on the weekend. But, if you book May through November, it's a good shot. But that September is sure a prime month for variety, like you're saying, and good weather.
You're in good shape.
Hey, when we come back, we got a whole lot more Let's Talk Hookup, more with Doug, the guru of tackle himself, and a whole lot more great info. You stay tuned. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup, Southern California's sport fishing voice, in the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
Gas prices are going up, up, up. So now more than ever, you need Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena. Pull up to the newly expanded Summit Gasoline and get low gas and diesel prices for your car, truck, and boat. They can now accommodate 24 cars and trucks to fuel at the same time, plus 12 diesel boats, plus 100 pounds of free ice with a minimum 35-gallon fill-up. Easy in and out, too. Step into the Summit Bistro and enjoy what Martha and her crew have for you on things you can use. Fresh-made burritos, sandwiches, salads, along with beer, beverages, and, of course, always free ice. So many Let's Talk Hookup listeners have taken advantage of Summit Gasoline's low prices, great service, and free ice. They have become the largest seller of fresh gourmet ice in Southern California. Summit also sells frozen bait and fishing licenses 24 hours a day. Summit Gasoline. Low prices, friendly staff, free ice, and easy in and out with your boat and trailer at the San Diego Sports Arena.
Hey, it's time to talk about great equipment from Shimano. And, you know, when you're talking about tuna, you're talking about fish in the salt water, Talica Speedmaster. And here's the thing. Talica is an amazing reel, but, you know, they're a little more pricey. So they came out with a Speedmaster, which is basically half the price, but not half the reel, right, Doug?
Well, and they've done something that we've been hoping for the longest time. They've come out with an 8 and a 10 size. So, you know, when you're not targeting a 250-pound tuna, and maybe you want that Talica, that size 10, you know, for your local 30 and 40-pound fishing, catching school-sized tuna up to 60, 70, 80 pounds, you're going to get better castability just for that lighter duty. And then they go all the way up to a size 25, so you can target a 200-pound tuna. And so, you know, we always say that Speedmaster is like 80% of what is built into a Talica, but for like half the price.
Yeah.
So it's a very good option, especially in those mid to smaller sizes.
Yeah, that line starts to blur as you require lesser drag pressure. You know, like when you're not putting that thing to the rev limiter, the line starts to blur a lot more. And on those light sizes, man, it's a great priced reel, and it gives you a ton of performance.
And at the PCS show at the Fisherman's Landing Tackle Booth, there'll be deals on Talica and Speedmaster. So check it out at your local Shimano dealer or go to the PCS show and check it out there.
Very good.
The state-of-the-art long-range sport fishing vessel, the Independence, delivers the top quality, comfort, and fishability you look for in a long-range boat. Veteran captains Mark Bizzano and Paul Strasser built this incredible 112-foot vessel with the most modern technology and luxurious comfort available. Once you go on the Independence, you'll be back. Call Independence Sports Fishing at 619-226-6006 or check independencesportfishing.com.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
Sport fishing, not just for dad anymore, thanks to the Dana Wharf's Kids Club. Dana Wharf Sport Fishing invites all anglers 12 and under to join the Kids Club today. Membership includes over $100 of really cool stuff, like 2 free fishing trips, whale watch trip, as well as a free Dana Wharf Kids Club hat or t-shirt. Log on to the website, danawharf.com, or visit them in Dana Point Harbor, the bass capital of the West, and only minutes from the 5 freeway in Orange County.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup right here on the Let's Talk Hookup app and the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. Pete Gray here along with a coughing rock cod Rick Maxa. Hey, he'll be okay though. Don't worry. Don't Ricky's fine. And Doug Kern from Fisherman's Landing Tackle and Fisherman's Landing here, talking fishing, talking bluefin tuna caught in our local waters here.
Yes.
So yesterday.
Excited. I couldn't be
and
more excited.
A whole bunch more. We heard Mike from the Tribute calling yesterday with some fantastic cod fishing. Game on right now, and speaking of game on, it's time for the Catch Report.
You got that right, buddy. And that Catch Report is sponsored by Norris Lithium Batteries. They're here in Southern California, designed specifically for marine use. Norris Lithium features prismatic cells for extreme durability, solid connections, longevity, and reliability. The Norris Guardian Advanced Battery Management System allows you to monitor the health and charging status by using an app on your phone. Norris also makes a complete line of kayak and electric reel batteries. Make the investment in the very best for your boat with Norris Lithium. Check norrislithium.com or go see the Trolling Motor Doctor or Anglers Marine for your Norris Lithium batteries. We're going to head on up to Dana Wharf Sport Fishing, talk to the band. Captain Brian Woolley's on the line. What up, Woolley?
Hey, good morning, guys. How's it going in there?
Going good, buddy. Good morning.
Good morning. Man, mellow week for us here, kind of across the board, just kind of a status quo. Kind of has been the case for us the last couple weeks. Kind of slow midweek. Getting off the dock's been a little tricky, but, getting out on Tuesdays pretty good. Half price. Remind everyone about that. Our 2-for-1 deal on Tuesdays. But we've been busy on the weekends as well. But half-day stuff, still seeing good bass action on the live baits. It's been incredible. The Carolina rigs, I'd say, with those sliding egg sinkers were a perfect call this week for those guys targeting that bass, since that fish has kind of been mid-water out over that hard bottom and in and around those stringers of kelp. So that was the hot setup for those guys on the live baits this week. Also, it was kind of funny. Guys were kind of crushing the head of the sardine, pinning it on their hook, and letting it kind of fall to the bottom, too. They had some good success with that, too. Just easier, I think, with the, maybe the slower metabolism of the bass. They were seeing it, and they were keyed in on it, but it wasn't swimming away from them, so it was a little bit easier for them to eat, too. So that caught some fish this week. A few halibut also in those same zones. They've been smaller fish, those halibut have, but definitely a few more than we have seen in our counts, so it was good to see some of that. And I know our regular half-day anglers are stoked, looking forward to this sheephead that will be open up by the end of the week here at the weekend with that. So that'll add another little flavor to that mix on the half-day there. Three-quarter day has kind of just been the same deal out in that 40-fathom zone out off Camp Pendleton, fishing sculpin and whitefish. Sounds kind of boring, but it's been fun fishing, easy, relatively easy. It's been a good deal to get some of the younger guys, younger kids and whatnot out there to kind of get used to that heavier weight come rock cod season. They get that kind of dialed in. But we haven't been in any of that shallow zone off like Barn, Kelp, or Yellowtail. I'm thinking we're going to take a look in there this next week, kind of fish our sculpin in the morning and then go slide inside there and keep that little zone on us with the 60-degree water. I wouldn't be surprised to see some good bass action in there, too. So maybe some of that to look forward to next week in the report. And then, like I said, our halibut derby, a few more fish this week added to the monthly drawings and whatnot. It's been a bit of a grind with that halibut deal, but the water's been cleaned up nice. There's some bait in some good zones, so hopefully we see some more of that stuff in the mix as well. And just a reminder, you don't have to be on the halibut drift trip on Fridays to be entered in the derby. You can buy a $5 ticket in the mornings when you check in on a half or a three-quarter day and get in. And then we had some fish this last week that were entered in the drawing that were caught on a half-day trip. So just food for thought. If you're coming with us, it's worth the buy-in. You never know, especially since we're seeing a few more of those fish in the mix.
Heck
so,
yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Mellow week. We're, a little bit of weather, I think, a day or two at the beginning of the week here, but we'll see how it plays out for us. So if you want to hop on a boat, give us a call here. Our number 949-496-5794. Of course, you can always link us there through the Let's Talk Hookup page and book online there as well.
Right on, Willie. A great report as always. Good fishing. A little weather, like you say, to get through, and then we're right back to it, man. Appreciate it very much. And again, great tip on that 2 for Tuesday, but still light loads. Yeah. And all good, buddy. Appreciate it very much, buddy.
Right on. All right, guys. Have a great week. We'll check it in. See ya.
Thanks, bro.
Too. Thanks. Appreciate that. Hey, want to mention that your time is running out for that Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea Bats and Rod promotion. You have a little bit left. They're going to be doing it. The giveaways at the PC at the end of the PCS show, where you get a chance to win one of 6 bats and rods by simply doing what you're probably going to do anyway or already have, but add some more, and that's by the grand raffle prizes. And I might mention, among the 30 prizes available for the grand raffle this year, which will be done at Day at the Docks, April 7th. So all this stuff's happening very, very shortly here. It's a $500 gift card to Fisherman's Landing Tackle, Fisherman's Landing. And now when you have a landing gift card, can you use it at the tackle store? Are they specific?
I'm thinking that's for the tackle store.
Okay, yeah, it's for the tackle store. So if you buy a gift card from the tackle store, it's good at the tackle store. If it's for the landing, it's for the landing.
We can internally make it work on both sides. We have the technology.
Okay, there's ways. We have ways.
We have ways.
Okay.
As long as you're cool about it.
Among other things, like our guests next Saturday, Bob and Charmel from Katmai Lodge. There's a trip to Katmai Lodge on there.
That's so rad.
And $2,000 in gasoline at Summit Gasoline at the San Diego Sports Arena, a trip with Benny Florentino, a Royal Polaris trip, Adventures in Camping trip,
that's a cool
an
one.
El Salto 3-day trip, Shimano Talica 20.
Wow.
I mean, this is just a sampling of some of the amazing 30 grand prizes.
It's
grand
incredible.
raffle prizes,
it really is.
$30,000 in prizes. But for just the next couple weeks, when you buy 5 grand raffle tickets for $50, basically $10 a piece, you get entered into a special drawing for 6 custom bats and rods, which are probably worth $600, $700, $800 a piece. They're collector's items,
and they're highly customized.
Yeah.
They had their very high-end builders build these sets specifically for this purpose.
Yeah, they're beautiful
and
rods.
The thing is, this is a short window of time that this promotion happened. There's just flat out not going to be a ton of people in this one, and they're giving away, is it 6 rods?
Yeah.
I mean, you have a high percentage chance of this. I mean, this is a really, you start thinking of 6 winners and the short amount of time, and it's only people that bought during this window are in this. This is a good opportunity at winning one of these beautiful works of art.
The best part is all of the money goes to taking kids fishing.
Yep,
that's what it's all about. That's what Captain Rollo's Kids at Sea is.
Yep.
Okay, how do you get those raffle tickets? Well, you call Tim at 951-264-7382. That's 951-264-7382. Or you send them an email. You leave a message there. Or you send them an email at win@rollo, R-O-L-L-O, kids.org. Win@rollokids.org. All of this information, as well as pictures of the rods. You can see what rod you're going to pick, what rod you want to win. As well as the grand raffle prize is all at rollokids.org. Check it out. Hey, Gundy, our surf guru extraordinaire, is on the line with the surf report. Good morning, Gundy.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
You are.
Yeah, there is some good, we had that storm early in the week, Pete, but that water temperature's holding up. We had some good catches, including big barred perch off San Diego coast. That's not the norm, but we'll get down to it. Let's start up north. Some good sign this week. Despite early week weather, the water cleaned up by the weekend along most of the stretches there. The southern beaches along San Diego County saw the best improvement, with water temps hovering around 60 degrees, which is really, really warm. I'm telling you, we get this change in weather, and we're going to take off right here. Hook, line, sinker reported better conditions by the weekend and a return to the bite. Some good stretches and bad stretches. Summerlin to carp was a good stretch. Lots of perch through there, up to 10 to 12 inch, probably the better quality fish. And then starting to see some halibut, mostly shorts, but the halibut's starting to show on the beach there, a good sign. The bad stretch, unfortunately, Goleta, I guess they cleared the river mouth, and a bunch of wood in the water and a lot of debris. And then on top of that, they had a 500,000-gallon sewage spill. So I guess, Pete, you'd call it soup and salad, I guess. There was also some problems off Imperial, Long Beach, so boy, it's hard to watch these spills. But anyways, better fishing was on the southern section off the San Diego coast. Uncharacteristically, lots of big fish. 2-pound, 11-ounce fish leads Pacific Coast Perch Derby. They also weighed in a 2.5, 2.3, 2.2, 2.0. Some 1.9s, that's big barred perch for San Diego County. I've fished that stretch a lot, and it's nice to see something like that. The better fishing's been from the pier down up to the harbor there. That seems to be what's going on there. Natural bait has been better, the grubs and stuff working, but they said the bloodworms or a fresh shucked mussel has really been doing it for those better fish. And then another good sign, the harbor and lagoon fishing also picked up. We had a 36-inch halibut caught in Carlsbad Lagoon. That's probably a double-digit fish. A 16.5-inch corvina taken on a spoon in Oceanside Harbor. Ooh. And then the spotted bay bass bite has improved. And then some rumors of some big giant bay bass in San Diego Harbor on a night bite with this full moon. Guys dragging plastic lures with squid tip and night fishing. You've done some night fishing in San Diego Harbor. There's some big giant puss bellies, isn't there, Pete?
Yeah, cool, for Gundy. Sure. Well, Gundy, always a great surf report. Sure appreciate that very much, and we will talk to you next Sunday.
Yeah, it's looking good, guys. It's time to get geeked up.
All right. Hey. Thanks, Gundy. Appreciate that very much.
Have a good week, guys.
Thanks, Gundy. Appreciate that. Well, that's going to wrap up our catch report. Hey, want to remind you, spring is around the corner. It's time to get your gear ready for summer. Check out surffishtackle.com for the newest in surf fishing gear, and fishthesurf.com to help make you a better angler when you're fishing the beach. Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way, including we're going to check in with Bill DePriest from the PCS show. He's going to give us a rundown on all the great stuff coming up. You stay tuned. More Let's Talk Hookup Hookup coming your way on the Mighty 1090, ESPN Radio, and the Let's Talk Hookup app.
Get ready for the most exciting sports show of the year, the giant 14th Annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing, Tackle, Boat, and Travel Show, March 7th to the 10th at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Check out hundreds of sport fishing exhibitors, manufacturers, tackle dealers, fishing boats, and fishing resorts taking up all 7 halls at the fairgrounds. 217,000 square feet, plus fantastic seminars and a free kids trout pond. Backed by popular demand, the PCS show also has freshwater to cover bass and trout. Learn from some of the top names in the sport fishing industry, from catching giant bluefin, swordfish, calico bass, and more. Take advantage of incredible show specials from major tackle retailers and boat dealers. Talk to the top fishing travel destinations. 4 full days, Thursday, March 7th to Sunday, March 10th. The 14th Annual Pacific Coast Sport Fishing, Tackle, Boat, and Travel Show at the OC Fair and Event Center in Costa Mesa. Don't miss it.
Hey guys, this is Ali Husseini from Local Knowledge and BD Outdoors. I'm a lucky guy in so many ways, and one thing I'm really grateful for is my little brother Yosef. Yosef is not only a fellow angler, but he's also an amazing realtor that specializes in helping us in the angling community find the ultimate home. If you own a home, get a free no-obligation evaluation online now by typing in SoCalHomeEval.com. That's SoCalHomeEval.com. All you do is put in your address and you'll get a home value report immediately sent to your email. No pressure, no obligations, just answers. Yosef is the SoCal real estate go-to guy. He's helped me and so many of my fellow fishing buddies find what they're looking for in a home. He knows anglers and he understands the real estate market. Not only that, but he's also a really nice guy. How many brothers can you say that about? Go to SoCalHomeEval.com and find out where you stand in the real estate market, and then get with Yosef and find your ultimate home. Again, go to SoCalHomeEval.com and we'll see you on the water.
Let's talk candidly about long-range fishing. This is Captain Frank DePresti of the Royal Polaris and the Shogun. Nowhere on earth will you find a fleet of long-range boats like we have in San Diego. We are fortunate to have several top-notch operations to take you to the most productive fishing grounds in the world. We all offer good food, comfortable staterooms, huge bait capacity, and top-of-the-line fish-finding electronics. So why would you choose the Royal Polaris or the Shogun for your next long-range trip? What sets us apart from the rest? It's pretty simple. The boats, the crew, and the service. From the moment you arrive at Fisherman's Landing, the service begins. We help you load your gear and do everything possible to get beginners or seasoned veterans ready to catch fish. When it's time to fish, the Royal Polaris and the Shogun have the edge there too, delivering the 2 best fishing platforms in the fleet. But don't take my word for it. Come fishing with us. If you want the best, it's Royal Polaris and the Shogun. For more information, call 619-226-8030 or on the web at RoyalPolarisSportFishing.com or ShogunSportFishing.com.
Many years ago, Baja pioneer Bob Van Wormer found the area he called the Great Fish Trap in the East Cape of southern Baja and built what is now regarded as the premier East Cape resorts of Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Today, following in their father's footsteps, Bob's sons, Bobby, Chucky, and Eddie, have taken Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol to new levels with the largest sport fishing fleet in Mexico, a luxurious spa, and top-of-the-line resort amenities. Van Wormer Resorts have become a destination for travelers worldwide. But for us, Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol are just a short 2-hour flight away. No other tropical fishing destination offers the experience and value that you'll find at Palmas de Cortez and Playa del Sol. Now you can plan your Baja fishing vacation quick and easy by visiting VanWormerResorts.com. And when you're ready to book, it's quick and easy. Or simply call 877-777-TUNA for more information. Van Wormer Resorts, the East Cape's finest.
This is Captain Art Taylor from Searcher Sport Fishing. Your hook is one of the most important links to catching fish. And at Searcher Sport Fishing, we use and recommend Gamakatsu hooks. The Gamakatsu Nautilus hook is best for tuna. And now with a variety of sizes all the way down to size 4, Gamakatsu hooks are the ones to use. It's important to be prepared with the right tackle when you come aboard Searcher, so that should include Gamakatsu hooks.